Okay, so now it says, all right, this cubic graph is shown at the right. How many solutions does it have? It's going on forever. And I know that everything, even if it didn't go on forever, we know that all of these points are solutions. So we have an infinite amount of solutions. Now, D, by looking at this graph, does it appear that 5, 8 is a solution? Well, let's see if we can see 5, 8 on this. It looks like 5 would be here, and 8 would be about right here. This is not on the function, so we know it's not a solution. 5, 8 is not a solution. If you wanted to do it algebraically too, you could plug in 5 for your x, 8 for your y to see if this adds up. 8 equals 0.2 times 5 cubed. I do not think those equal each other. I don't have my calculator, but let's just say they do not equal each other. E, how could you use the graph to estimate where y is equal to 4? You want to know what x is. So go to your graph and go to approximately where the y-axis is equal to 4, maybe about here, right under the 5. Draw a line, and right where it hits the function, let's estimate that. Maybe 3.8? I'm going to say x is about 3.8 from the graph. Okay. Well, sometimes we have different formulas, not your y equals mx plus b. Well, we have this physics formula. W, work, equals the force times the distance. So what if we needed to know what is the force? Okay, so we can solve for force. Force is being multiplied by distance, so I can divide both sides by distance. So we get work over distance equals the force. And so now I solved this for F in terms of W and D. And then we have this Fahrenheit equation that would convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. But what if you wanted it the other way around? Fahrenheit equals 9 Celsius over 5 plus 32. Let's solve for C. I would first want to subtract 32 on both sides. So I'm left with Fahrenheit minus 32 equals 9C over 5. Let's get rid of that divided by 5 by multiplying both sides of the equation by 5. I'm just going to leave it like this, 5, and then in parentheses, F minus 32 equals 9C. We are almost finished. Divide both sides by 9. So now we know that Celsius equals 5 times the Fahrenheit temperature minus 32 all over 9. Okay, let's skip C for time's sake. All right, and then I want you to try and solve. Let's try and solve. Do I want to do this? Let me do 2 of these. And then again in pink, I'm going to highlight what I want you to do. Actually, I'm going to have you, I'll have you do B and D. And then I will do in the lecture right now A and C. And then I will also have you complete the, review and preview for homework and classwork. But let me do 2 more of these. A, anything to the 0 power, I don't care what it is always 1. Y to the first can be rewritten as Y. equals, well, a lot of times we don't like negative exponents. If we have a negative exponent in the denominator, we can bring it up to the numerator as a positive exponent. So that equals x squared. And it just wants us to solve for y, get y by itself. So simply subtract 1 on both sides, and we get that y equals x squared minus 1. And that's your answer. And then C, make sure you FOIL this out. All right, so we have x squared plus 4y equals x squared plus 6x minus 2x minus 12. Interesting. The x squareds are going to cross out on both sides. So now I'm left with 4y equals, well, 6x minus 2x, those are like terms, let's combine them, equals 4x minus 12. We're almost finished. We're solving for y, but y is being multiplied by 4, so let's divide everything here by 4. Y equals x, you could put a 1 there if you wanted to, minus 3. Well, this is actually an equation of a line. Right here, up here for part A, because you see an x squared, that's a parabola. Okay, so everything I circled in pink, and I can post this as well. So in pink, I circled 6-3, I circled C, B, D, and E. And then in 6-6, I circled B and D. So those will also be classwork / homework. And then please do all of the review and preview for homework as well. All right, thank you. I'll be back in a moment with 6.1.2.